Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast Lehr. With me, your host, Imperial Dane, a master of instruction. Off here to cover the next unit here in the British lineup. That is the 6-pounder quick-fire anti-tank gun, available to the British from their little platoon command post for about 280 manpower, making this one of the cheaper anti-tank guns in the game. Not quite as cheap as the Americans one, but close there. In terms of performance, it ranks closer to the SIS-3. Pack 40, I think, does a bit better in penetration, but it's sort of their rate of fire more or less the same. So what makes a 6-pounder gun basically, different from the others? Well, I mean, the veterancy bonus is more or less the same. Veteran 2 shoots faster and more accurately. Veteran 3, it gains, more penetration. I don't think it actually shoots faster, it gains more accuracy. Makes it perhaps a bit more different, but otherwise it'll still perform reasonably well. The trick in this case is basically rapid maneuvers, which allows you to turn quickly but also move faster. I mean, you basically get an anti-tank gun that can more swiftly react to an attack, get out of a troublesome situation, because that's basically a sprint for an anti-tank gun. But you can also use to keep pace during an attack. That is, you focus on an enemy tank trying to get away. You pop rapid maneuvers, sort of ensure it can't easily get away, for example. So in that sense, again, this is a more, reactive and active anti-tank gun compared to the others. It can sort of more swiftly react to threats, but also percent of get punched there, unlike, say, the 45mm gun for the Soviets. So that adds a bit more to you sort of as a player there and what you can do with it. But again, you don't get sort of more special performance out of its gun. It's sort of more how it handles specifically they can sort of improve upon. Otherwise, I mean, there's not really so much to say. I mean, the others, the same usual rules apply when it comes to anti-tank gun. Screen them properly. Don't leave them unguarded, because your opponent can then very likely just rush an infantry, clear it out, steal it. Generally, if you can, grab an anti-tank gun, grab it, turn it against opponent. If you don't need it, attack it using A, for example, click on it, deal with it. You can that way wreck an anti-tank, ensuring your opponent doesn't get it back. You can also, of course, do your own to ensure the opponent doesn't get it. If you can't, grab it back. I mean, otherwise, keep in line, for example, lines of fire, for example, here, looks pretty good. There's only a small bit that sort of really blocks it. I mean, for example, you find, for example, like a large chunk of the arc of fire is being blocked. You might want to consider if there's not a better way to sort of position your anti-tank gun. Otherwise, the trick to keep in mind with anti-tanks, in most cases, they try and sort of set them up to support your attacks, or sort of guard the vital points. Try to also, have some idea of where your opponent's going to at least try to predict, because otherwise you can find your anti-tank guns basically being for naught. And that's certainly also one of the greater limiters of the anti-tank guns. They tend to be a lot more reactive than active when it comes to defense. You basically have to hope your opponent's going to attack with the anti-tank guns. They can't sort of react. I mean, sure, this one can a bit more with rapid maneuvers, but for example, you've got the anti-tank gun up here, the enemy attacks there. It's simply put not going to be there in time. So you always sort of have to consider where do you want to place your anti-tank guns, and of course, again, always keep them screened. You always want at least an infantry section, a squad over there, sort of covering, ensuring it can't just be easily rushed, because again, it will be easily rushed if your opponent can get away with it, because he will want to kill your anti-tank guns easily. So those are important things to keep in mind. An anti-tank gun is a priority target. Of course, also ensure it can't easily be flanked by tanks or vehicles, because then they'll try to kill the crew. I mean, again, that's basically also the weakness of anti-tank guns. This is basically the only point where they're sort of really outflanked. Don't have any high hopes for its survival, basically. And again, rapid maneuvers can help a bit with that, as long as you sort of keep a good eye out. And of course, in that sense, also another important factor, you want spotter's foot, because it can't see that far. It's not the Soviet one, which actually gets a veteran ability that helps with it, and it's not the American one, which also gets an ability that allows it, but also extends range. It's basically against you. Another reason why you want something infantry or something else in front of it, to actually ensure it can use its full range. Otherwise, it can only have perhaps see half as far there. So that's also a bit important there with using your anti-tank gun. But those rules I believe are more or less covered with the other anti-tanks. But overall, beyond that, there's not really so much to say. I mean, it's basically an anti-tank gun that can move more swiftly. That's basically it. There's nothing unique there. It doesn't get, super rounds, or can fly, or call down the wrath of the heavens. It's just an anti-tank gun, pretty good, cheap, effective, and again can react cleverly. I mean, again, otherwise the standard rules apply as I've just mentioned. So there you go, bit of a shorter one, but we can't ever have every Propagandacast Lehr be, half a movie. So there you go. Thanks for listening. Hopefully this has cleared things up a bit for you on the ordnance gun here. And again, try to use rapid maneuvers. You might find yourself pleasantly surprised. As always, try to use abilities. Try to figure them out, how they work, how they don't. Get the most out of them. So there you go. Thank you all, and hope to look forward to the next Propagandacast Lehr. As opposed, we can sort of make a little special feature. Which of these two do you want to be covered first, the AC or the Bofors? Pop your comments in there in the on the video comments, and of course look at it, and after that one we'll of course do the one, then finally we'll do the mortar emplacement, just to sort of shake things up a bit. So there you go, thank you all for watching, and see you all another time. Bye!